Hi guys, Monday. Just started with 30 minutes on the rollers, mostly doing clipping in practice, so clipping in, clipping out, probably like 200, 300 times or something. Just trying to get more consistent with it. Yeah, not panic at the race tomorrow off the start line and fuck it up like I did last week. That'll be good. Yeah, just doing editing last week's video. I'm also gonna, just an hour into my ride on the turbo now, gonna change shoes. Riding in my old shoes at the moment and gonna switch to the new ones because I don't think the stack height, I had a look at the stack height and I don't think it's that much higher. Probably slightly higher in the new shoes, but maybe not much higher than these ones. So been riding in these for an hour and a half. Got an idea of what they feel like. Put the other shoes on, see how different they actually feel, because it might be only a couple of mils most in the stack. Like, it's not going to be much. Those shoes should be fine to actually use them for racing without having that negative impact that I thought might have been the case. And if it's the case I can deal with a tighter hip angle, then I want to be lowering the saddle to get more of an aero benefit from being exposed to that more difficult position to pedal in, basically. I decided I'll file them down to give a little bit more clearance from the Asioma pod, because even though it's a really stiff sole, like, there will be some level of flex to it, and if it flexes and touches the pod, I really don't want that happening. So file it down, give it an extra couple of mil of clearance, and it should be absolutely fine. It's just me overthinking it, but yeah, I don't want to damage my equipment. I've already broken an Asioma before.
Problems, but I think they were started in England, came back over to France, stage 5 did a couple.
Chopping up to 3 hours now. 3 hours on the turbo and then half an hour on the rollers. So yeah, 3.5 hours. High zone 1, zone 2. So yeah, good stuff. I absolutely wiped out a few hours, an hour or so after my ride this morning, but dragged myself down to the gym and yeah, just really tired. But yeah, I'm ramping up the training volume, so it just makes sense why I'm introducing more fatigue into the system. So plan is to get used to this level of training and then hopefully get fitter from it. Also have a plan for doing heat training at the gym, as the bikes at the gym have mountain bike pedals. So on an old pair of shoes, I'm going to put some mountain bike cleats on them and then head to the gym to do some heat training sessions at some point. Guys, it's Tuesday, absolutely gorgeous day, so getting out for just an hour spin, be rude not to, but then racing TomLeeCycling again this evening, so I'm just spinning out the legs, waking them up for tonight. So yeah, just easy spin around the block and yeah, enjoy the nice weather, because it's been pretty grim, and then hopefully I'll get my other bike back soon. I should be able to collect that sometime this week. Back in TomLeeCycling on this lovely day for week 3 of the league. So going to be doing 2 races again today like the first week. So it's going to be that first race, the 2-3-4 race, followed pretty much immediately by Cat 4 only race. The first week it was meant to be a Cat 4 only race, but they set it up as a Cat 3-4, so it was basically Cat 3-4, half and half, Cat 3, Cat 4 riders, whereas this week it's just Cat 4 only. So because I've got 11 points, I should be moving up to Cat 3. Provided I get some points today, I'll be moving up to Cat 3, so won't be able to do any Cat 4 only races. So yeah, just get out and enjoy it, see what I get. Try hard in the 2-3-4 race, see if I can get a top 10 there, and then again 5-minute rest and crack on with the next race and see what I've still got in the legs. Yeah, we're ready now. Got an hour before the race. Good evening of racing, home now. First race, the 2-3-4 race was actually really hard work. I think there were some much stronger riders there today, so they kind of ripped it to shreds from the get-go. Found myself stuck behind a slightly slower rider for a few corners, and I should have just dove up the inside or up around the outside just to get around them, because then pulling some brakes in the corners and letting the gap open up too much, and yeah, I lost contact with the main group early on, and yeah, I with there being like a sprint at halfway, and I know how much they like to sit up and play around. I was working hard for that first half, so first half an hour, 20 laps to try and chase back on, but there was plenty of riders getting dropped out the back as well, but no one I was able to work with really. There was a couple of groups where I'd start working with them, start pulling a turn, and there'd maybe be one rider who wasn't pulling, not doing the work. They'd pull through, and it's just like, we're not going to catch back up if you're like, yes, I get you're tired if you're tired, but we're not gaining on the peloton if you're not pulling hard enough. So I'd like pull through and do extra turns, and I'd be like, what am I doing here? So then I'd just attack them and try and go solo. But yeah, I wasn't able to bridge it, and yeah, just surfing around the back with the fellow lap riders, riding with some other lap riders, and yeah, it's a bit chaotic. Only got lapped by the peloton once. They were coming into the finish when I finished, but I was clear ahead of them, so I wasn't in the way. Because the marshals were all shouting like, "Get out of the fucking way!" I'm assuming that's what they're saying. I was a bit confused. I'm like, but because they were quite a way behind me. Like I was well clear of them. But then the marshals are like making sure that everyone's getting out of the way for the sprint finish, because yes, chaotic sprint finish if you're having to navigate lap riders. Yeah, definitely need to be better next week if I'm going to survive. It's going to be that sort of quality. So yeah, then I had like a 5-minute rest or so, and then it was on to the Cat 4 only race. So yeah, got out of the start hard. First of all, both races managed to clip in first time off the line, which is good. So silly, but yeah, managed to get it down. Got off hard. Started rolling attack straight away. Basically, I was definitely the stronger rider in the field, so I was attacking off the front, leading out the peloton, stringing it out, attacking off the front, more pull attacks off the front. Guess it was only really me attacking, so weren't really able to rip the peloton to shreds, and fair play to them for because I was keeping it honest, but yeah, it all stayed together. There was probably 20-25 of us or so. Yeah, decent field still, but yeah, found myself in the first few wheels like I'd either be on the front or maybe slip back to like 6th or 7th at the most, and then go around those riders at some point, a counter attack over the top. So yeah, we're just attacking a lot really. Only 20 laps, and 1 lap to go. I did a big attack through the start finish, and then just like sprinting out of each corner, just keeping on the gas, and I'd managed to get separation. I'd managed to get separation straight away, and then just going hard out of the corners to make sure I maintain that separation. Bit of a brain dead attack really, like in a higher category race, like that would definitely have been brought back in by the finish, I reckon. And you'd need to, for that sort of attack to work, the timing on it would need to be perfect. It would need to be just like maybe like 3 or 4 laps to go when the peloton's playing games and sitting up, and that's when you launch an attack like that. With 1 lap to go, like everyone's motivated to bring stuff back. It was just the fact that the riders weren't strong enough on the day to bring me back. So I know it wasn't the best tactic, but like I might have been able to do well in a sprint finish, or I might have pussied out of taking a line. So I know I wanted to go early, just so I'm basically with the hairpin. Like I just wanted to be in the hair. It's so much nicer just being able to be the first wheel going into that hairpin and pick your own line through it. You can conserve so much speed compared to when you're in the back of the peloton. So yeah, I just wanted to be first through that hairpin really. So I just on the gas, got through the hairpin, mullered it out the hairpin, you know. Yeah, first win. That's 10 points. So and I had 11 points already. So you need 12 points to go from Cat 4 to Cat 3. So I'll comfortably be in Cat 3 now, and I don't know how the points carry over. I'll just have to see how British Cycling does that. If I need 40 brand new points, or if it's only 20 more points, but yeah, we'll just have to see with that. But yeah, last Cat 4 only race, because shouldn't be a Cat 4 anymore. Also got a Rafa voucher for winning. It's apparently £20, but it just looks like a bit of paper to me. There's no barcode. There's no writing that says how much money it is. So it's whatever. Get to bed now. Had McDonald's. I was in an hour and I was like, oh, fuck it, go on. And get to bed now, and then actually racing in Nottingham tomorrow. So going to be getting the train there and back, and that's a Cat 3-4 race. So see how we get on with that. It's Wednesday, just gone the afternoon, and gonna go hop on the rollers for an hour, just check the bike's all okay, and then heading to Nottingham this evening. So my train's at 4:30, so wanting to leave the house just after 4 really. So yeah, doing a spin now, have something to eat, get the rest of my stuff ready, and then head off for the race. So yeah, I changed around. Felt like I was losing a fair bit of tyre pressure from my rear wheel, and it had a 28mm tyre. So what I did is I switched it out for 25. I don't know if the bigger volume tyres maybe losing pressure more easily. There didn't seem to be anything wrong with the latex inner tube, but I mean it's probably going to be the case that the latex inner tube is just losing some pressure for some reason. So yeah, but I changed it out for a skinnier tyre because they feel firmer. Like even when it's pumped up to the same skin pressure, it still feels like more supple with the 28mm. So I just decided to switch it out, so at least it feels firm, even if it's losing a bit of pressure. Whereas like when the 28mm loses pressure, it just feels saggy. Yeah, also set up, put my course of speed on my disc wheel. Hop on the bike now, see how it is. Right, heading to the train station now. Should only take 15-20 minutes tops, and I've got 40 minutes until the train leaves, so yeah, crack on with it, and got on my way to Nottingham. 15 minutes to get to the station for here and plenty of time. No harm sitting around. With my tyre pressure, rear tyre was still losing pressure even with the 25mm tube, so tyre. So I think it's just touch and go with latex tubes. Some of it's going to lose more. They always lose air, but some of them they can lose more than others. This one's probably just slightly worse. I mean, it's still rideable. The thing is, like there's nothing to patch though. There's no hole in the tyre, so I don't know if there's anything you can do, or if it's just going to be a slow leak in latex tube. Whatever. Successfully navigated my way from the train station. People warming up on circuit, but I already did 20 minutes, so just nip into a loo and then get on circuit, do a couple of laps to warm up. Yeah, real shame that. Yeah, rear tyre was losing pressure. Like, yeah, it's losing more pressure now. So it's probably lost like 20-30 psi. And what happened in the hairpin is my rear wheel kicked out. So I ended up going wide out the hairpin, right, throwing the other riders wide behind me. So gladly didn't cause an incident, but it was whoa, because obviously my rear wheel locks up, and because I lose traction, and the other guys have to go wide round me, so that wasn't good. So that happened, and then I just thought I'd got lucky, and then it happened again on the next hairpin, and the guy behind me, he'd actually lent me his track pump, and he was like, your rear wheel's flat, and it's not flat, but like, I've lost enough pressure that I can't corner properly, so decided to pull out after 20 minutes. But yeah, I was riding well. It was a hard race, really big field, like 40-50 riders maybe. But yeah, I was maintaining contact with the front group, and there was lots of splits happening, people getting dropped left and right, and managing to stay in the front group there. So I mean, I was riding well, and yes, it's a shame about the tyre, but yeah, can't do much about it. I'll change the tyre now, so I can actually ride back to the train station and ride home. But put in a butyl tube. Maybe stick to butyl tubes. If the latex is losing pressure, then just like, yeah, don't fucking bother. Because it's so weird, because it's not got a puncture. There's no hole in it, but it's just losing pressure faster than it should. Yeah, real shame that. Oh well, on to the next one. I think I might have found the issue. Loose valve core. Just tried to take the cap off and end up releasing the valve core, so that's probably why I've been losing pressure. Yeah, that's fucking stupid, but oh well. Seems like the tyre is so well seated, I literally can't get it off. Now, screwing in the valve core, I can just pump up the tyre, but it will lose pressure. So I might just have to do that, because I literally can't get the tyre bead off the wheel. That's pretty ridiculous. That. Another problem. I should be getting my other bike back tomorrow, so now we have to introduce a new issue now that maybe things are actually going right for once. God's sake. The tyre is literally seized on the rim, so just had to tighten up the valve, twist up the valve core, hopefully that was the issue, and then pump the tyre back up, and it seems fine. So yeah, fucking dumb, man, stupid, but I mean, I tried to figure it out this morning what was wrong, but I just didn't figure it out. It just didn't click as to that could have been the issue, so can't blame myself, and it was good that I pulled out because like I was putting myself in danger and then also others in danger by taking a shit line through the corner because my rear wheel would lock up. I'd lose grip in the wheel. So yeah, we're all safe though, so that's the main thing. Got a while, got an hour till 50 minutes till my train, so just spin around the block a little bit more and then head back to the station. Back at the train station now, 10 minutes until the train. A bit of time after the race, so did a bit of a cool down with Zach and then decided to cruise around Nottingham for like 45 minutes, an hour. Obviously only raced for 20 minutes, so decided to do some extra riding, tighten up the valve core, and pressure seems to be alright, but I'll see if it's still losing pressure tomorrow, and if the valve core is as tight as it can go really. You can only do it really finger tight. If it's still losing pressure, it's still losing pressure. Yeah, I guess that's one point against removable valve cores for latex tubes. I mean, they already lose pressure. A bit silly, but like, I mean, I can't blame myself because I tried to figure out this morning what was wrong with the tyre and couldn't do anything. Like, came to the conclusion, well, I didn't know what was wrong with it, and I thought that I'd be fine. I didn't realise that losing 10 psi would cause my the handling to go on the bike. Basically, maybe it was like 20, 30 psi. Maybe it was getting soft. It was getting quite soft. Now we know at least. I think I was riding well, so can't complain. Yeah, just head home now, and gonna be it's a rest day tomorrow. Have a rest day tomorrow. Hopefully go get my bike, my TCR as well. On the way home now. I think I definitely want to be running a 28 back on that tyre. Now that I know that 28 is not an issue, it was definitely an issue. Like, even when the 28 goes, even though it feels saggier, like it's got that bigger contact patch and it's less likely to lose grip. I made a change. I felt like it was the best thing to do at the time, and it didn't work out, but it might have been fine on the 28, but still would have been losing pressure and it would have been a bit dodgy. We're all safe at the end of the day. Like, the main thing is it didn't crash, it didn't cause any incidents. Like, yes, it was a bit dodgy on those corners, but thankfully everyone was able to get around fine and no incidents occurring. So yeah. Even though the crimp didn't go so well, like, I think going on the train still worked pretty well. It's actually quite nice riding on a night like tonight, where it's really nice and clear, nice and warm, no rain at all. Not pea soup, you know. Yeah, home now. Guys, it's Thursday, rest day today, so just gonna do an hour spin on the rollers. Want to check something out with the TT bike. Got a new course of speed on there, so want to see that's all bedded in properly. Yeah, probably get out on the road maybe this week, next week, just to check it seems all good. Probably change the front tyre as well for 23 mil course of speed. And then I've got the issue with the tyre from yesterday as well. I mean, it's holding pressure now, so it was just a loose valve core, which is good. But the fact that the tyre's like bedded in the rim so perfectly, it's like impossible to get off. So I'll play around with that later, see if I can get it to budge. Went to the bike shop, and apparently that's a semi-common occurrence with tubeless ready tyres, and like the tolerances are so tight that means like a tyre will get really stuck on there sometimes and be very difficult to get off. You have to really brute force it to get it off. Yeah, I went to the bike shop and actually got my TCR back, which is really good. It's been a long ordeal. Obviously me waiting 10 weeks, but like the back and forth with the bike shop and Shimano sounds like an absolutely atrocious ordeal. So very appreciative to them for getting that sorted. And yeah, bike's back. I mean, it's not ready. I need to do some new stuff on it. Get it rideable again. I definitely continue racing on the other bike for the time being, and maybe just for the rest of the season really, because I'm only doing crit races, so I don't really need the lighter bike. And now I've got this set up decently well, so I might just stick with this for the rest of the season, and then. But because I have two bikes, I'll be happy to get out a lot more because I'm not worried about ruining my bike before a race, you know. So yeah, get on the rollers now and just do an easy zone 1 for an hour. Absolute chaos in here. What's going on? Jesus, I'm worse than my dad. Did actually win a Rafa voucher for getting that dub at Tameside the other day. Also got to appreciate Kendrick showing the industry who's boss like 11 years after Control dropped like that. Just absolutely destroyed it, and now he's released this new song. It's like, oh my god, he goes so hard. I'm like, yeah, he's the goat. Just 20 minutes on the rollers, then 40 minutes on my whoosh. Now hop off, have something to eat, go boat, crack on with the rest of the day. Do lots of bike work to be getting on with. Hey guys, it's Friday. Just finished my warm up now and going to be cracking on with a TT threshold session. So it's going to be single block again. So it's 40 minutes of threshold, 4 minutes of VO2 max, 4 by 1 minute that is. So it's 1 minute VO2 max, 20 minute threshold, 1 minute VO2 max, 10 minute threshold, 1 minute VO2 max, 10 minute threshold, and then finishing it off with a final minute at VO2 max. And again, just doing it to feel on the day, see what I've got on the day. Don't have a unrealistic target and then blow up because it's a single block, so need to be able to pace it properly. But then you dig in really hard on those 1 minute efforts, and then your ability to recover from them is probably the hardest part of the session. Trying to spin the legs out after digging in really deep to high 400s, 500 watts for a minute. So yeah, crack on with the session. Pretty warm and humid, to be honest. I'm going to start experimenting with some heat training over the next few weeks and months leading up to the summer. Don't know if today would count. I've ordered the core body temperature monitor, but that hasn't arrived yet. Actually going to check the setup at the gym's all alright tonight, because I've got some SPD mountain bike cleats that I put on my old shoes, so I should be able to clip in at the gym because they have SPD cleats on the bottom of the pedals, the flat pedals. Good set of seated sprints, like getting up to 1300 watts seated sprint, which is pretty good. Big hard session today, so see how we get on. Also been working on the bike. It's getting there. I'm just waxing a chain at the moment, and then it should be good to go. But put my old 175mm crankset on there with 4 hours power meter. So yeah, it should be a nice setup. Also got to fix some stuff on that bike. Got a new saddle for it. The saddle's super creaky at the moment. Sticking to my normal shoes today. I've got threshold session on Sunday, so I'll do that in the lace-up shoes, I reckon. But I want to file them down, file the left shoe down a little bit, so I've got a little bit more clearance from the Asioma body. As I mentioned last week, like, it doesn't touch it and the shoe's really stiff, but just a bit of peace of mind, because like this one is more curved, so has a bit more space from the pedal body. Still overlaps it, but because of the curve of the shoe there, like, there's more clearance from it, whereas the lace shoes are really flat, so it just like sticks over it. So if I file it down, it'll have a more similar profile to this shoe, so I prefer that for my own peace of mind. Well, that was different gravy. Yeah, that's why you do it to feel. Yeah, really hard today. Power was well down. I'm pretty sure I know why. Like, you got your options. You got overtraining, illness, and in this case, I'm pretty sure it's heat. Yes, I've been ramping up the training a little bit. There's always a potential I could be getting ill. My mum's not been well for the past couple of weeks. I don't think I've caught anything. But it's bloody warm and it's pretty damn humid today. So I reckon it's been about 20 degrees on the bike, and my fan just isn't enough cooling. Heart rate wasn't coming up, and yeah, power just wasn't there. Like, legs didn't feel good, but I'm pretty sure it was just like the heat. Probably just reaching my heat threshold where my body's just like, no, shut it down, not going any harder than that, because I could push through the VO2 max efforts, but on the threshold work it was just like, yeah, it just wasn't there. And yeah, it's bloody warm. I wasn't sweating buckets though. it was kind of just like my body was auto-regulating so that I wasn't pushing hard enough to be absolutely sweating my balls off, but my skin felt warm. And yeah, it's funny because I've been thinking about heat training for the last few weeks, and I've got the core body temperature monitor on the way, and I've already planned in my calendar as to when I think I want to structure some heat training in, and I'm getting a set up at the gym so that I can do that, so I don't have to do it here, so don't have to sweat my balls off all over my bike. And it gets to this session and it's like, oh, get smack in the face showing you like how hard it can be when you're not heat acclimatized. But like I say, I'm pretty sure it's the heat, which is good because I figured that out rather than being like, what's wrong? Why is my power down? Am I doing something wrong here? So I think everything's all right with ramping up the training. I just need to get acclimatized to the heat, and yeah, when starting doing the heat training, active heat training, I should get a lot better at doing that in the heat. It doesn't get stupid warm in the UK, but in the summer there's a good chance it's going to be 20 plus degrees during those time trials, so you need to be adapted. So yeah, glad I've got that in the pipeline because today just wasn't happening in this temperature. Probably look into doing some cooling protocols as well. Maybe get another fan, so I have 2 fans going, then also maybe an ice vest, slushies, play around with that sort of stuff, just start experimenting really. Still shifting. Just topping up the miles with some TT work. Gonna just do 2 by 15 minutes in TT position with a 5-minute rest or something. Just yeah, a bit more efficiency in the TT position. Can't do any harm. Saturday, just done 30 minutes on the rollers, doing a lot of clipping practice, really getting the hang of it. I think like yeah, able to do it consistently first time, again and again and again, back to back. So definitely getting better at it, so that's paying off. Yeah, so just gonna hop on the trainer for another 3 hours now. Yeah, crack on with just doing some zone 2. Obviously struggled yesterday in the heat, so and I'm planning on doing a session tomorrow, so don't wanna overcook it today. So yeah, just see what I got in the legs and not push it crazy. So because it is warm again. So and I know that obviously I'm struggling in the heat. So yeah, something to be working on. So do some time in TT position. So do 10-minute intervals in TT position. Do a 5-minute rest. Get at least 60 minutes of work in position. I reckon that'll be good. Put my hour in position. Just go top up to 2.5 hours and then hop off. Already did half an hour on the rollers. So that's 3 hours for the day. Been ramping up the training a little bit, so it's not surprising that introducing a bit more fatigue, but don't need to push it too crazy, so just cap off now. Actually plan to get the TCR fixed for tomorrow, so then I can get out on the road on that. That'll be good. Been cracking on with some bike stuff this evening, so put my old 23mm Corsa Speed on the Zip 404. Yeah, it's a nice transition. It's about 23mm diameter. GP5000 might have been around 24, so it's not like a poor transition between the rim. It's quite good. If anything, it might be slightly better. Yeah, and then I've got a 25 on the rear. Both Corsa speeds for my next time trial, which is next Saturday next week. So going from being on GP5Ks, so definitely a rolling resistance benefit. But I'll just see. I haven't probably slightly less puncture resistant, but should be absolutely fine for a TT. Still just got a TPU in a tube in there, latex tube in there. Was also able to get the tyre off the road bike wheel, so I put the 28mm back on there with my rear wheel kicking out. Like, I want as much grip as possible really, so going wider on that rear tyre is like, yes, the 25 was losing grip because it lost pressure, but now it's slightly in my head like, 25 in the rear, there's no grip there. So yeah, putting the 28 on, it'll be back to normal. That's why I was riding since the start of the season. So back to that, and that'll be fine. Actually, just gonna start filing down the shoe like I mentioned, just marking up where it overlaps just with some pen, and then I'll take the cleat off and start filing it down a little bit, just so it's got a bit more clearance from the Asioma. A little bit of filing, and that's really improved the clearance from the electronics pedal body. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Like I said, the sole's really stiff, so it's like not going to flex into it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be touching from now on. Well, it wasn't touching before, but it's definitely not going to touch now. Morning guys, it's a lovely Sunday, so I've got a TT session today, so I'm going to hop on the TT bike, get my session done. Should be able to do that in like 90 minutes or so, and then get out on the CCR, because should be able to sort that all out now. I'm just going to cut the chain to length. I waxed it last night. The reason it was in the shop for like 10 weeks is they couldn't diagnose what was wrong with the Di2, and they had to send it back to Shimano. The initial problem was with the battery holder, so it's got this external battery that's quite exposed to the elements, and it corroded a little bit and just wasn't communicating properly. So sent it back, and I'd ordered some parts. I'd ordered a new battery holder and a new battery, but I think those were both dead on arrival, which was pretty fucking unlucky. So we were trying to use these new parts, and it just wasn't fixing anything. So we were very confused. The bike shop was very confused at what was going on. So I sent it back to Shimano, and they've this brand new battery, not the one that I bought. So brand new battery holder, rather than the brand new ones that I bought. And then for some reason, the junction box that I had was absolutely fine, but they've also decided to change out the junction box for whatever reason. Bike shop was very confused at why they'd done that, because that's like a 180 quid part for no reason really. But yeah, new parts, and it's all shifting properly now. I'm just going to ride it in really nice weather from now on, because yeah, with the battery being right, I mean it did well. It survived for 2 years I was riding it, but mainly riding it in nice conditions really. But yeah, just with how exposed it is on the bottom of the bike, like it's going to get corroded again, so don't want that to happen. So yeah, it's a fair weather bike from now on, which is its original purpose. New bar tape. They also sorted out the headset bearings because those had died. So yeah, just need to cut this chain to length, and yeah, we should be good to go. Also put my 70mm cranks that I had on my TT bike, so I've got the 4 hours power meter on that, which is cool. TCR is ready to go. Crack on, do my session, and then I can get out on this bad boy again. Wrapping up my warm up now. Done 4 seated sprints, close to 1300 watts. Good. So the session today is 40 minutes at the threshold with 3 minutes of VO2 max spikes. So it's split into 2 sets, 30 seconds VO2 max, 10-minute threshold, 30 second VO2 max, 10-minute threshold, 30 second VO2 max, then 10-minute rest, and then doing it all over again. So six 30-second spikes, and 2 20-minute threshold blocks, disturbed by those hard VO2 max efforts. The shortest VO2 max efforts I'll be doing for this block, this spike threshold block, pushing close to 500 or above for the 1 minute spike, so should really be like 600 for the 30-second spikes, but I'll see what I got in the legs. It's warm, but reduced warm up, so hopefully my core body temperature hasn't spiked too much, but I'm ready to go. Definitely want to try and enhance cooling from now on when I'm doing indoor sessions, because yeah, it is getting warmer, and I'll have better information once I start using the core body temperature sensor. It's pretty obvious that my core body temperature is getting higher, and that's why I'm struggling, I guess. So yeah, little spin now, and then crack on with the session. Big old sweat fest in this heat, but yeah, a bit better than yes, it's an easier session than the threshold session I did on Friday, because split into 2 sets, but yeah, definitely felt better on it. Just have to see what the numbers say really, but yeah, felt good. But yeah, just struggling in the heat. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like I say, I've been ramping up the training volume a little bit, but I'm pretty confident my struggling at the moment is just lack of heat adaptation rather than overtraining. So, but yeah, obviously need to be careful because it could be the case that I'm pushing it a bit too much too early. So, depending on how I'm looking next week, might need to take the foot off the gas a little bit. But if not, if everything looks fine, then full steam ahead, because doing the hard work now is going to make the hard work at the end of the summer a bit easier, and hopefully make more better adaptations, bigger adaptations to really bring the power numbers up, which is going to be key. Absolutely drenched, mate. Shoes are alright, standing now work fine, and yeah, the stack height is definitely higher, but doesn't feel like a ridiculous change in the position on the bike. Look at that. Fucking hell. You're too strong, mate. You're too strong. You need to work harder. I do try and consciously push a bit harder on my left leg to try and bring the Asioma, because the offset from the Asioma to what the Wahoo's saying is between like 20 and 40 watts. 40 watts higher from the kicker core, that being all just extra strength in the right leg. So I do sometimes consciously try and make an effort to push harder on the left leg. Doesn't make a difference. Right leg's still doing all the work. Yeah, just a little spin now and then get changed, and then go out on the TCR for hour and a half, 2 hours. Getting warmer for sure. About to get on the TCR for the first time in over 10 weeks, probably. Pretty ridiculous. Yeah, see how it is. Check everything's all alright with it. Also going to be trying out extra large shorts for the first time. See if, I've been struggling with saddle sores for since starting cycling a lot more during this series. So and I do have relatively big legs. So and I've always worn large shorts, but they had some extra large ones at Decathlon. They didn't have much else, and I'm like, oh, might as well get a pair of these and see if they fit nicer and they're more comfortable. So see how those are as well. Stop for the mid-ride mechanical work. Had to tighten up the lever hoods because I'd forgotten to do that, and noticed that the left one was loose. So tightened them both up, and then adjusted the brake modulation, so that's feeling better. Now I'll continue on with the ride. Lovely day. And I think my helmet's broken. I twist the adjuster to tighten it up, and it just pops. It's like slipping. It's not getting tight. It's getting tighter, and then it slips to the being looser again. So I'll send that back because I only got that a couple of months ago. So that's a bit shit. Lovely 2 hours to end the week there on a great day like today. Actually been a pretty big week. I think it's been around 22 hours, so yeah, that's pretty solid. But yeah, making sure that I'm not digging a hole for myself. I want to, yes, I'm ramping up the training, but don't want to make it too bad that I'm just dying. Like, I want to be able to adapt to this training load. So yeah, but feeling good. So all positive. Hopefully, just on the way up.